Do you agree with this book that is being taught with kids that babies are racist?
Senator, I have not reviewed any of those books, any of those ideas. They don't come up in my work as a judge, which I'm respectfully here to address.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sister Talk with LTB. I am Brittany, and I want to say hello to all of our loyal Sister Talkers. Hey, y'all, how y'all doing? Welcome back. Come take a seat, have a drink, whatever you got to do. I also want to say hello to our new viewers. I know y'all out there. I see y'all. Welcome to the Sister Talk community. We love you here, okay? And this is a safe place to be you. Like I said, I am Brittany, and these beautiful ladies here are my sisters. I got a bonus sister here today, y'all, but I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But I do want to introduce my lovely sisters today. I'm gonna start with Nisha, the doula plug. Say hey.
Hey.
You are. Oh, I thought she was muted. That is Nisha, yes, the doula plug. And we also want to introduce the lovely Tiara. Did you change your glasses, girl? I thought that's where you have some good glasses.
I did.
Yes, y'all, we are Sister Talk with LTB, and welcome. So before we go too far into, everything that we do here, we gotta hit y'all with that good old mission statement. I have to. We have to do this every episode. It's so important. So we want to make sure that we engage you in some sassy conversation. Tiara did not do her neck roll. Oh my goodness, but it is okay. All right. We also want to empower you to be your authentic self, okay? If you haven't noticed, like if you're new here, if you haven't noticed, we're going to be who we are. So please be who you are. All right. Amen. All right. We also want to encourage you to the next level. Okay. Whatever the next level is for you, Sister Talk wants to encourage you to get there. That is important to us. So that is our mission statement. And honey child, we live by that mission statement, okay? Because we're going to be our authentic selves. We encourage each other. And baby, we sassy. Okay?
I'm glad that I'm finally admitted to it.
See, now I got to say they more sassy than me. See, I wasn't even going to say
right.
that. But anyway, y'all, yes, that is who we are. All right. And that is our mission statement. Oh, I forgot. Mission statement was written by the beautiful Nisha, the doula. I don't know why she act like that. It was written by her. So yes, now that we have gone over our lovely mission statement, Sister Talkers, the Sister Talkers that's been here for a while, I know y'all know what's next. Okay. We got to go ahead and go to those good old church announcements, baby.
Hallelujah!
I'm allowed to be and have a praise break too, right? Everybody gets a praise break.
Yes, everybody have a praise break.
Listen, everybody is allowed to have a praise break, honey. I can't tell you if you're allowed to or not. Just do it. Okay. that was the moment. Okay. They was a little delayed, but that's okay. It's okay. All right. Because it's like what they say. You don't come when you want to, but he always on time. All right. So y'all was a little late, but y'all was still on time. So that is okay. I only got one church announcement today though, y'all. Unless my sisters or our lovely guests have anything to chime in, but all I want to do is tell y'all to register to vote. Okay,
Checkmate.
that is
Vote.
important.
Checkmate.
Please make sure that you register to vote. Like my beautiful sister told me, before we start recording, to vote in the primary election, you need to make sure you go ahead and get registered. That is important, okay? Especially for our melanated beauties and
Amen.
all of that good stuff. Please make sure that y'all go ahead and register to vote, okay? And we're not just telling y'all that. You really need to make sure that this is something that is high on your list of things to do, okay? So please make sure you go and register and vote. Okay, y'all.
Register to vote, know what's on your ballot, know what's going on in your communities, know who your leaders are, get acquainted, know the information, get it all done.
Yes, please do that. And Tiara's having dinner, so I'm gonna go ahead while she's having dinner. I'm gonna go ahead and move right along.
I was actually looking at some stuff for our topic here to make sure I touch these points.
All right, have dinner. We all gotta eat, baby. But listen,
I know that's right. I wish I had some chips right now.
y'all gotta eat, baby. You know what's funny? I was gonna text y'all earlier, like, hey, y'all wanna have snacks on the show today?
Oh man.
Okay. But yes, y'all, look, we have a lovely guest on the show. I'm pretty sure you all are familiar with our lovely guests, our sister talkers. And if you are not, baby, okay, I don't know what just happened there, but baby, let me tell you about our guest today. Okay, we did a whole episode on her. Okay, so that's how you know she's important. She's important to us. And if you're a sister talker, she's important to you because it really ain't no sister talk without her. Okay, if you really
Amen. Hallelujah.
Okay, so without further ado, let me introduce or reintroduce our lovely guest, Miss Nicole, who is the Sister Talk editor.
Woo! Bring it.
Yes. Yes, Black girl magic. Hey. So Nicole, we wanted to bring you on today's show because of what our topic is, which I'm going to introduce that in just a second. We all felt that it was very important for all of us to be able to chime in on this topic. And if you guys see Nicole's background, you probably already know what we're about to talk about. But we definitely want to chime in on what's been going on with the situation with the judge. Like, I know y'all been watching, and if you have not been watching, honey, we about to break it all the way down for you, okay? So look, this is the point in the show when I run out of breath, a sister can't breathe. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch it on over to Miss Tiara. In about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna switch it over to Tiara and we're gonna start this topic. And y'all see Nicole here, so she gonna give us what she feeling about this topic, because I know it's something that she's passionate about. So go ahead, baby sister. I can't breathe.
Okay, so today we are going to be getting into this topic about the judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Okay. So if you have been paying any type of attention to the media, social media, the radio, wherever you get your information from, they have touched base on this topic of how a woman, a Black woman, who is overqualified, is being questioned, and not only questioned because that is a part of the hearing, is to be questioned. However, some of the questions that are being brought up are some type of disrespectful, demeaning, not at all necessary for what she's
irrelevant
coming before the panel for. And we just want to discuss, first of all, this whole situation, and secondly, the two sides of this story. First of all, us as Black women, we all can relate to being in a situation where our counterparts being white or colleagues being of Caucasian descent or male.
Yes.
And we feel as though we've been belittled or looked over, or like our credentials don't check out. The work that we put in don't check out. Or we could look at it from a different angle as to where the issues that's really important, we weren't really able to withhold that information to see if this is a valuable candidate, because we were so drawn, our attention was so drawn to the fact of relating to her, instead of, is she actually really a good candidate, or do I want her to get in just because I relate so well to her and how she's been demeaned throughout this whole process? You know what I'm saying? I think oftentimes in the Black community, we think that the Black candidate is just the best candidate just because they Black. But sometimes that's not the case. And I was talking to somebody else before. I had posted it on social media. A friend had hit me up on social media and was like, well, actually, I didn't actually agree with some of the things that, or some of her stances on things, but I'm conflicted because it's like, but she looked like me. This is my first time seeing somebody that looked like me with this opportunity. And I'm rooting for her just because she's Black. And a lot of times we do get caught up in that as well. Okay. So y'all can take it from any angle. I presented 3 different angles of how I felt about it, or how I seen the situation. You know, as a matter of fact, let's just dive right into it, just off of the surface of it. How did you feel seeing that line of questioning for coming from the board or that panel coming towards her? Nicole?
I think I'm going to be good. I'm going to try to be good. But before I answer the question, I want to say one thing. So the first thing we started talking about was about the importance of our voting, right? Making sure that we get out and we go out and get out the vote. Any other Black woman who is watching this right now, don't just vote, run for office. One of the issues that Tara brought up is that we only get to see people who look like us rarely. Part of it's because we're not registered to vote, and part of it's because we don't just participate in the political process. I think there might have been 1 or 2 African Americans on the entire judicial panel that gets to choose Supreme Court candidates, not actually name them, but just choose them. If you are a Black woman and you are watching this, don't just vote. Get in the political process and change things for the better. Ketanji didn't get there on her own back. She got there on the back of many other Black women who chose to get into the process. Don't just watch from the sidelines. That's not enough. That's not enough for children. It's not enough for other women. It's not enough for you. I cannot stress enough how important it is for us to be involved in the political process as women, but specifically Black women. If we didn't learn anything else, we should know that no matter how far you get in your career, you will be measured by the color of your skin first. Because to go back to what Tiara brought up, there is no other living Supreme Court justice with her qualifications. Hearings are about qualifications, not your race. So if you take out the fact that she's Black, ain't nobody got it like Ketanji Brown Jackson. Nobody's got the street cred, nobody's got the education, nobody's got the training. There is no other candidate if you look at it in a very basic way. It's like a job application. It's like an interview process. She's the best candidate. But in this process, people sometimes choose everybody Black as opposed to everybody qualified. In this case, it happens to be that she has both of those things.
Right.
And and to quote Tiara, I'm here for that. And we should be looking for more opportunities to promote and support that, if you will. I don't want to monopolize, but I'm a fan.
Definitely.
I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of who she is and what she represents. So I don't want to forget to say this one other thing. I'm going to keep doing this. The other thing that I want to bring up, if I could briefly, is tied to her qualifications, but also the distinct difference in how she's been interviewed compared to her predecessors. And that is also based on her race too. It's not just because of, not only are we rooting for everybody Black, we're also seeing all the discrimination because she is Black. Because just go back to Brett Kavanaugh. Just look at Brett Kavanaugh for a second, if you can stand to look at the man. Because with all due respect, his track record is not that sweet. He's got a track record of crying in the same seats where the Honorable Ketanji Brown Jackson had to sigh the eternal Black woman sigh. Brett Kavanaugh cried like worse than any child you've ever met, because he didn't get his way, because someone called him out on his despicable, frankly, behavior, as opposed to being able to be poised and respond to absurd questions that had nothing to do with the actual job application. But Kavanaugh got to cry and spit and scream and cry in his confirmation and try to defend himself, and still got the job. I don't know if y'all know any other Black woman who would still get the job who acted and is acting
Absolutely not.
like Kavanaugh is acting and acted. I don't think we know anybody like that, right? We wouldn't even want to do
Absolutely
that,
not.
right? We wouldn't even want to do that.
Absolutely not.
That bar is so low for them, and as always, the bar for Black women is so high, should be disturbing to more than just us. And it's why I always go back to run for office, Black women, because it's hard to change it from the outside in. But when you're in, you have the ability to crack that sucker wide open and do the things that need to be done. So I'll stop for a second.
As always.
That is
As always, we carry it all
Always
on our back.
on our back.
But I do want to say, before we move on, sorry y'all, but I do want to say that I definitely commend her for remaining calm.
Yeah.
Because on several occasions I wanted to be like, well, first of all, sir,
Right.
But you know,
let's get on you real quick, because according to the Constitution, there is no measure of like, yeah. But how do you feel about it, Nisha?
Okay, so I feel so many different ways. I just want to know and understand and grasp what I need understanding. It's okay. It happens to the best of us.
it's usually just you, but
why do she got to go through all of this? If she is qualified, it's no other candidate for this. Why do she got to go through this? Like, is this a normal process? That's what I want to know. Is this a normal process? Do you have to go through all of this? Because it's not like a normal questioning interview kind of thing. This is freaking interrogation. Let's just call it what it is. You are interrogating her. You are trying to sit up here and make her like
Trip up.
Exactly. You're
Like
trying to
police do.
Exactly. Because we know that when you poke and poke and poke, oh, she ain't gonna be able to take it. She gonna flip out in a minute. But why?
angry.
But if she is the only person, if she's the only person for the job, who else is for the job? Who else is you gonna interview?
And also, I mean, to what you're saying, let's just be clear. Who is she nominated by? Come on. She was nominated by the president.
But it's,
I mean, that should hold some weight as well on top of her credentials.
Yeah, but I think part of the process we forget is that this part is always a part of the process. Kavanaugh went through it. Amy Coney Barrett went through
the questioning.
It is impacted by the makeup of the Congress. The president can pick anybody they want. Remember, the current head of the Defense Department, the Justice Department was nominated and rejected under Obama. So there are folks who get nominated who don't make the cut, but it really depends on the makeup of Congress and how close it is right now. And let me just be clear, this is the perfect example, and I want to go on record, of white men trying to get revenge on what happened to them last time, because during Brett Kavanaugh's he went through the same thing. And when it came out about the sexual assault, when he was getting drunk and he may or may not have abused or assaulted some women, they went crazy. The Democrats were like, we want him to be held accountable. Republicans were like, leave him alone. And they passed him through because the president was Republican too. And so in this instance, they're like, hey, you know what? This is Biden's choice. We're just going to trash her. And then on top of the fact that she's the first Black woman, they want to do everything in their power to kind of pick on things that will benefit their base, but degrade her. Now, does that excuse what they're doing? Absolutely not. But there's always a hearing process, and it's not always this dirty. And to be fair,
right.
Trump's legacy has a lot to do with this. I don't like mentioning him a lot, but it got dirty during his tenure. And so it's just gone downhill. But there's always one. The trick of it in this instance is that they are the current committee that does the judicial hearing for the Supreme Court is complicit in how she's being treated. Sometimes it's all politics. So the fact that they're asking her about books that call babies racist is them being complicit, and they need to be held personally responsible. Again, register to vote. The connections between what we're talking about are not by happenstance. Wherever you live, you make sure that you register so that I almost said a bad word. So the ninjas who are causing the issues, not just for Ketanji Brown Jackson, but for everybody who looks like us in office, need to be held accountable. And the days of them getting away with this should be coming to an end. We should be sick and tired.
Absolutely.
It's like Will Smith was sick and tired of seeing Black women being disrespectful. We should be tired of this. And the best way for us to fight back is to actively go out and vote. And anything less than that, just us acting like it's okay.
Giving them a pass.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think that's the driving force behind it though, because at the end of the day, the people that are making those decisions and actually voting and being able to, they're representing us.
Yep.
And they're saying the people don't want her, or the people do. So Brittany, how you feel when you seen it?
Wow. Off of what Nicole said, like, the questioning is standard procedure, but the line of questioning for her was inappropriate. Okay. So 2 things that I want to say here is, one, baby really, really held her own. Because like Tiara said, woo, child, the beast probably would have came out. And I think that that's what they were doing. Like Nisha said, you keep poking and poking and poking, eventually the beast's gonna come out. And I think that's what they wanted. They wanted to see that angry Black woman so that they could use that as an example. That is what they wanted. Yes. So I really commend her for just like staying calm. And even with her staying calm, she still was sneaking in some sneak business in there. And I was like, go ahead, girl, you got this. So that made me very happy. But I want to talk about Senator Cory Booker. That's his name?
Yes.
That's who I want to talk about because I don't know what just happened. But why are you naked? Oh, okay. Anyway.
Okay, and we sip. Let me just get a drink.
And I need something in my cup.
That'll distract the viewers. This is meant to distract you if you're watching at home.
Oh, goodness, that is funny.
Senator Cory Booker. I just really want to chime in on him because I don't even want to call it a speech, but just the way that he just loved on that Black woman.
Baby.
And I think that that's really something that us as Black women need to see, because oftentimes, our men stray away a little bit. And I mean, I know that's not like her man or whatever, but just to see a Black man love on a Black as he did. And something that he said that really, really, really stuck with me. I was watching it while I was on the clock. I was supposed to be working. But something that really stuck with me was he said that he had went for a jog
Right.
And he ran into a woman who basically just kind of like threw herself into him. And she said, I just wanted to be close to you because I know you are so close to her, to Ketanji. And I was like, that's kind of big. You're looking at me looking crazy. But I felt like that was a big thing. Like just to want to be close to you because you get the opportunity to sit in the same room as her. And I don't know if this woman was Black or not. I don't remember if he said that, but regardless, it was a woman. Mm-hmm. And that really stuck with me. Like, wow, to be somebody that is that influential to where I just want to be by somebody who in the same room as this person.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That was big for me. So yeah, I do not like how they were interrogating her at all. I do commend how she really held her ground because, child, I would be like, I don't want this job.
Yes. Right.
I didn't want this job.
I want to slap them all. I just want to slap them all.
Don't stand before me because I'm going to be biased right now. I'm telling you, don't let your daughter, your son, don't let nobody that look like you stand before me because bias. You hear me?
Those were things that really stood out for me because some of those senators, I mean, they were nasty.
Yeah.
They were nasty.
Yes, absolutely.
Now the question that had got me through watching this was what stood out to me is, first of all, one of the white ladies said to her, or maybe it was the only white lady, I don't know. But she said, well, you had to know, you had to be prepared for this. You had to know that it was going to happen this way. Mm-hmm. And it was like, what? Who in the all are you talking to? That's number one. Number two, it was a question that said, well, what kind of judge are you going to be? And baby said, the kind of judge that I've been for X and amount of years. I was like, who put a stamp on it, baby? Let them know who you is. Ain't nothing gonna change. I'm still gonna wear the robe and do my job the way that I have been doing it all this time. And the reason why I've been doing it and how I've been doing it, who been watching me know that I am the one. She just was like, bam, shut up.
Exactly.
Like, what? Girl, boom.
But some of the questions the one question you mentioned where they were like, hey, how could you know? How could she know? When they asked Amy Coney Barrett to name the rights that were covered by the Constitution, and she got the answer wrong. How could she know what kind of questions she was going to get about racist baby books that are now sold out? Thank you, Ted Cruz. How could she know that you're going to be asked to know the definition of a woman when judges don't define, they make judgments. They don't define anything. That's the point.
According to the law.
Right. Like, so they don't,
the law
like, how
what a woman is.
I mean, they were asking Kavanaugh about his drinking behavior. How could she know the questions they were going to ask? She couldn't. So she was prepared to answer things based on her expertise and experience, which is exactly what she did. But she couldn't know that y'all was going to go so low. But even Michelle Obama's looking at y'all sideways. Because that's how low they went. And they did it on purpose for politics, not for her, not for the Supreme Court spot that she's gonna fill, but for themselves. When Lindsey Graham asked her how faithful she is a Christian, I can't say what I said.
What do that got to do with it?
Right. I can't say what I said because it wasn't very Christian of me. However, you got some nerve asking her how faithful of a Christian is she?
I think you should just.
How can you even say that?
You're supposed to separate your religion and the law. So sorry, why are you even asking me right now? Like,
so wrong. And then there's one thing I did want to mention. And the one thing I wanted to mention, because I think it is important, is that the media will show you the things that are most salacious, not what's most true. So if you're watching and you saw sound bites and all you saw was her talking to white folks, she was on in the hearing for almost a whole week. She talked to Black folks just as much as she talked to white folks. The media only wanted you to see Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham and Hawley in the child pornography cases. They didn't show you the questions where she would ask, just like they asked Brett Kavanaugh, hey, you ever been accused of sexual assault, Ketanji Brown Jackson? No. You ever drink too much and black out? Same questions that Kavanaugh was asked. All of her answers were short and sweet because the answer was no. She didn't do that mess like Kavanaugh was accused of doing. Hey, do you know the 5 areas of rights that are covered by? Yeah, I do know those things. So if anybody is watching, and even for our convo, like, just remember that C-SPAN is probably one of the few places where you could actually see the hearing in its entirety and see it in an unbiased way. Because I watched it on C-SPAN because I was working from home that week, but I would watch CNN and MSNBC to see how they reported on it. And that was even biased. The whole hearing is not just white men yelling at her. There were plenty of times to hear why she is the most qualified. And did nobody show any of that? So remember.
And that's also important.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's also important with both news reporting media as well as the algorithm. So like my algorithm may show me the stuff that pissed me off.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Now somebody who's on a different standpoint and they look at things differently, or they're surrounded by different things, their algorithm may have showed them another viewpoint of the same thing. You know what I'm saying? The things that pop up for you are based off of, you ever been on the Explore page? Everything on the Explore page for me is locks now, because I looked up locks and I looked up this and I looked up that, like different people with different types of hair, you know what I'm saying, how it looked before I had got mine. And I'm 6 months in now, and I'm still getting majority of that in my Explore page. You get what I'm saying? So, or the pages that you visit and all of that, that all has something to do with your algorithm and what ends up showing up after you get to the end of the people that you actually follow. And then if you still scrolling, it's gonna be some other stuff that pop up. And then also the people that you do follow, if they're like-minded people, then you're gonna see the same thing. Versus sometimes I have a Caucasian coworker that's my friend on Instagram, and sometimes she be posting some stuff, and I'll be like, "Girl, I don't agree with that, but okay." But that, that's what popped up for her to repost, because that is a part of her algorithm. You know what I'm saying? So just like Nicole was saying, if we really want to see it from the jump, go to the go where you can see the whole thing. I also, and I know we're talking about Ketanji, but I also want to shout out her friend who introduced her and gave such a beautiful speech about the type of woman that she was and how proud she was of her. And seeing another Black woman that was a law professor, I believe at Harvard, like, listen, her integrity, talking about her integrity to her friends and her family, and as well as in her career. And that's just real. Like, when you could really be proud to say something about somebody, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, people be lying. You could tell people be lying too. Like, you ever been to a funeral, they be like, they were such a stand-up guy, they definitely making it into heaven because, they just gave all charity and everything. And then everybody in the congregation looking like, I don't know what man they talking about. Who is this man? If I was see this man walking on the street, I would have never known. So, but you could tell like how heartwarming and the friendship. And since Brittany brought it up, and what was his name again? I'm sorry.
Cory Booker.
Cory Booker. Yes. Let's yes, Black men. Yes. Because we always talking about where these Black men at. A lot of times, and this has happened to me as well, y'all. A lot of times people, Black men, this has literally happened to me. They will see you being attacked and then address it to you later. Like, I seen that was super crazy, but you hold your head up. Oh, but you seen it. You didn't say anything. Like, you was gonna help me. Like, help me, help me. Like, I need help. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I seen that. That's super crazy. But I definitely commend him for that. But I know that we don't have a whole bunch of time left. But I really want y'all to let me know like where y'all felt like. I know when I was watching it, I don't know how I can put it in some words, but when I was watching it, it really just correlated with me so well because of being in the professional field. I'm sorry, y'all. My thing keeps saying it's dying, but it's charging. I don't know why I keep doing that. But being in the professional field, sometimes even even to the point to where your credentials or your amount of education is exceeding those that are around you, or maybe not, but you just know more about the subject. You know what I'm saying? But
Man.
the people around you look better to be talking about it. Not necessarily know better to be talking about it
Yes.
or doing it,
Yes.
but look better
Mhm.
to be talking about it or doing it. Can y'all just tell me about a brief time where you felt like that, where you know that kind of hit home for you to see her going through that line of questioning and belittling or disrespect?
I feel like that every day.
I was gonna say. Just one time? We only have to talk about one time?
I mean, just breathe, just breathe. I mean, if it go over, it go over.
Just
But
kidding.
you know,
I'm just kidding. I guess I can go. So what I would
Go
say
ahead, yeah.
has been I'm 50, so I've been working since I was 15 years old. I've had a job in some form or fashion since that age. There's never been a time where someone didn't look better to be the face. I've never had a job where the preference was not me. But the reason why I said what I said at the beginning is, hey, Black women, not only vote, but get involved in leadership, is that there will always be somebody trying to hate on us. It's not a rarity. It's something we should expect. So haters shouldn't diminish our shine, shouldn't let Black girl magic be less magical, and shouldn't keep us from putting ourselves in the places where we deserve to be. Everybody else be damned. Because sometimes we will shine less bright because we're worried about what someone might think or how someone might respond. There's always somebody that you don't know about who's rooting for you. There was one phase in my career where I was the only person who looked like me in the division of 275 people. And I could have just been happy in the space that I was in. But I was like, you know what? No, I want that job. And if I don't take it and work hard and make it so that you cannot give it to anybody else, you have to give it to me, then they're going to give it to somebody who's less qualified. And no, I made it so that nobody else could have had it. It's never a choice. I'm really good at making sure, okay, you could give it to somebody else, but everybody going to know you a fool. So you need to give it to me because there's nobody better at what I'm talking
everybody
about.
gonna know you a fool.
So you can be a fool if you want to, or you can give it to the one that everybody already told you should get it. And so by the grace of God, I got my own, literally, period, on the gang, I got all the words written down. That I've been really, really intentional about making sure that, hey, you can pick somebody else if you want to, but they gonna know why you didn't pick me, and then you stuck dealing with the choices that you made. And by the grace of God, it's almost always worked to my benefit. Even if I didn't know it was supposed to happen the way that it might not have happened perfectly, but it's been very rare where people weren't like, oh, shoot, oh, she's already, let's give it to her. Oh, shoot, she's, okay, send her there. Okay, we'll just make it happen for her. Because most of the time, if not all the time, we are always overqualified. Always. It is not sometimes that we're overqualified. And the one thing I do want to say, because I'll forget, is that I saw this on TikTok where someone was watching the Honorable Ketanji Brown Jackson's hearing and put in her notes, like what I'm learning from this is that I don't need to worry about if they're going to treat her like that, then me going after my dreams or not means people will treat me this way no matter what I choose. and I'll still be overqualified. So why not just go ahead and take what's supposed to be mine as opposed to wait for somebody to give it to me? And so professionally, that's really been my approach. And even in my private practice, I don't just do my private event and wedding work as if I'm not the best. I'm the best one that you're gonna meet. And so you could choose me if you want.
Period. Come on.
Or you can choose somebody else. And so one of the things that I learned, this is my last thing I'll say, is that what I've learned as a Christian Black woman is that God doesn't give us gifts to act like they aren't real and that they aren't working in our lives. And so what I talk to my own team about is that there's certainty in your gifting as long as you know that who gave it to you. So I don't say these things out of arrogance as if I know it's all me. I'm a Christian Black woman. God gave me these gifts, but I'm certain about them. I don't let anybody make me uncertain because the whole world is waiting to make me unclear and uncertain. And I refuse to allow them the opportunity or the power to be able to do that. So I feel like, at least for me, I've experienced it for several decades, but the certainty that God has given me about my gifting has made it hard for it to turn me one way or the other. So that's my short version.
First of all, what I heard was, I ain't bragging on me. I ain't bragging on me. It's okay.
Yeah.
I got it. I ain't bragging on me though. I'm
What?
bragging on God. Period. 'Cause
Exactly.
He gave it to me.
That's right.
Period. Don't get
And
mad.
he gonna make sure all them checks
was
get
like
signed.
a mic drop.
Right. Was like,
No.
what? I ain't gotta do nothing. What? You gonna
He
wait?
gonna make sure them checks is paid.
Look, he
Okay.
she say, if you
Order my
decide to go
set.
the other way, if you go the other way, everybody gonna know that you messed up. It ain't on me.
It's the best way to go. It's the
I
best way to go.
love that though. I love that because I feel like a lot of times with us, whether it be relationships, whether it be in business or whatever, jobs, friendships, whatever, you like, man, they walked away from me like, what's wrong with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did I not do? What did I not do? I've been doing everything or whatever, or I did everything that I could do. I got all the credentials. I got all the educations that I needed to get. I picked up the slack. I worked hard overtime. You know what I'm saying? But they still overlooked me.
Yeah.
And Nicole said, you overlooked me, but baby, that's on you. It ain't on me. I'm gonna keep doing my one too. And when the right opportunity comes through, if that's for me, it will be for me. Period. And it is not gonna change my work ethic. It's not gonna change nothing about me. Come on. I feel like that's a praise right there. Okay.
Yeah, that was real. On the game.
It reminds me what everything that y'all just said kind of remind me of something that Nisha said to me. I don't know if I was mad about something or whatever, but I remember you was like, you know, a lot of people do what you do at creation, but don't nobody do it like you. And I was like, she got a point.
Look at Nisha.
She got a point. It was the time I was going through I don't want to, I feel like I'm overcharging this and I want to give everybody a deal. But then I had to really think about it like, baby, you are the bomb and you deserve to get paid what you're worth. So
that's right.
Run me mine or go that way. But guess what? You ain't gonna get the good product over there that you would have got over here, baby. That's so
right. I mean, period. People buy Nikes, Adidas, and all the other type of shoes. They don't just stop at one type, one brand. So they still go shop. You feel me?
Yes, that is true. That is the truth. Like, so we went through all of that. So my thing is, at the end of the day, they can really decide not. I just
Misha, like, I need
you're asking about
I just need to hear this. Like, they can really decide not to choose her. Like,
so technically, because of the makeup of the Congress, it's 50-50. So the vice president is the deciding vote. So technically, as long as all the Democrats vote yay, and if that's the issue, if every Republican were to vote nay, then Vice President Harris would have the deciding vote. So it is possible. They did it to Obama on purpose. So a lot of this is not have nothing to do, has nothing to do. It has, let me say it this way. The choices that they've made for the Supreme Court have everything to do with how we get to live our lives under the law. But the process to get there has nothing to do with it. Yeah, that's all politics and posturing. Nobody really cares about what she thinks about that book. Thank you again, Ted Cruz, for making it a sold out New York Times bestseller about babies and racism. However, it was a way for them to posture for the people who will elect them in the primary and in the next major election if they run for president. It has nothing to do with how we live our lives and everything to do with politics. And that's the problem with the process. And that's why Merrick Garland never got to be a Supreme Court justice, which I'm not going to berate him, but might have been the better job for him. His DOJ right now. Originally, he was supposed to be a Supreme Court justice, and they were like, the Republicans were in charge of Congress, and they were like, absolutely not. And he didn't even get through the hearings. So the point is, hearings don't guarantee appointment, which should have been the case, frankly, for Brett Kavanaugh in light of the sexual assault. But because Republicans were in charge, he got through. And if you feel like I feel, Amy Coney Barrett shouldn't have got through so quickly either. Talk about fast track. Talk about affirmative action for a chick, but I don't want to go crazy. But that one right there, that one right there is wrong.
Just because you're white, don't make it right.
That surely don't make it right. When you can't name if you can't name the things that you're going to have to deal with as a judge at the interview, you wouldn't have gotten the job at any other firm. But for the Supreme Court, you made the job because Trump wanted you to get it and gave it to you in record time. Ketanji might get it by Easter. They might say yes next week. She doesn't get in until Easter. Amy Coney Barrett done faster than I can get my taxes filed. Don't make no sense. Don't get me started on that one. That one is my one that
faster than I can get my taxes filed.
That one makes me angry. Kavanaugh is just disappointing, but Amy Coney Barrett is one that is really, if you put them up on a scale together, the scales were completely in her favor. And so part of the question about the process is like, how does it really work? It's really a congressional yay or nay. And then once they yay or nay it, then it's all about getting her installed. I expect that she will make the cut. Obviously, I don't see who would on the Democratic side say no. This is not like, the Voting Rights Act or like the Crown Act for that matter. It's not as controversial. It would require a Democrat.
Which, by the way.
Yeah. No, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry, but it would require like a mention or a what's her name? I can't think of her name to actually turn code, but it's not important to them, so they don't really need to change their mind and go away from the party line. But what should happen is more Republicans should vote for her. The American Bar Association is like, she's the one. This same group of members of Congress put her in the place of being the DC Circuit Court judge. So she was good enough for that, which is a major position. So it's not that she's not qualified for this. This is just politics. This is literally politics. So again, Black women, don't just vote. Run for some office, get on some boards. This kind of mess only happens when we're not involved in the decision-making process, so that we can see more women who look and operate and have the same experiences as us be at the table to help make these kinds of choices and regulate how we communicate to each other. Because if there had been another Black woman on that hearing committee in a leadership role, Dick Durbin wouldn't have been the only one saying, you know what, this conversation is over. But it was just Durbin's job. There's nobody else in the room to really lead like that. So it's crazy.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. I've heard my friend, State Representative Shayla Davis say that. Like, I ain't get here because I got here to make a change. I gotta be up here to make the change. It's just not about being in a community and voting and all of that kind of stuff. I got to be on a ballot. And that is so true. Don't just vote, get in the seat. Drive.
And not just like senators, look at your, I'm not trying to be, well, I'll say it anyway. School boards, cannot stress this enough. School boards, if there are nonprofits around you, city councils, boards on nonprofits, we're not on enough of those. So these nonprofits give money to organizations that don't help people that look like us. because there's nobody who looks like us or our experiences in their in the boardroom, for lack of a better phrase, to help shape how they think about impacting the community. So wherever you find space to be able to, y'all testing the editor today, wherever you find space to be able to have influence in areas where you're passionate, go out and start serving and looking for places where you can lead. You don't just have to lead from the back, lead from the front. There's plenty of opportunity. We just have to think about, I'm praying that the image of Ketanji Brown Jackson's daughter looking at her mom go through this process is how Black women begin to see themselves, so that we make different choices. Because the time of us being told how to respond when people are asking us stupid questions needs to come to a close. Because
period.
Psy was great, but and we all as Black people were like, oh, it's great that she was able to keep her composure. Why do I have to keep my composure when you ask me stupid bleep questions? Why? Why do I have to ask
stupid bleep?
Yeah, why do I have to? It's harder for me to bleep as an editor. It's hard for me to bleep. So why do I have to act like it's okay? In my normal everyday life, we all just said I would have hands or words for you. Why does the world need her to be okay with Ted Cruz berating her, Lindsey Graham berating her? Why does Cory Booker's words mean so much to us when the words, I'm happy he said it to her, but I'm gonna need for him to say stuff to Graham and Cruz too. I'm not saying it wasn't good what he said, but I'm that's not enough for me. I'm gonna need to see you talk to the ones that's been talking crazy to me too.
Check the whole situation.
Check it. Yeah. Check it. Hey.
Don't just get up there and make this look nice
should have
and
been there.
And in the meantime, I vote Nicole for office.
Hey, but I feel you on that though, because as soon as I say that it's an issue, now I'm the bad Black woman. Now just the big bad wolf. And then, but when somebody else come in and they want to check a situation, it's like, oh, I respect it.
Exactly.
Even a situation, you know what I'm saying? We gonna mention it because this gonna go out a little bit later, I think. But
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Even with that situation, it was, for some people they felt, oh, it was cool. Oh, you stepping up for the Black woman. But as soon as a Black woman step up for herself, because she could come, even if she come like that about her kids or her man, you know what I'm saying? It's still what you like big bad wolf every trick.
Right.
Especially in a professional setting, especially you know, if somebody coming at you crazy. So I know we got supposed to be wrapping it up, but one last thing, and it's not directly related to this. So I saw another post talking about when Caucasian women cry and how come Black people don't actually care, or Black women more so don't really care about your tears. So I feel like, you know, this is directly correlating with it because
look,
you know what I'm saying? You can blow up, you can get emotional, you could cry, you know what I'm saying? But as soon as I show any type of emotion, you have no sympathy towards me. You have no rationalization to my situation. But when it's you don't want to be called a Karen when you overreacted.
Right.
Or it's a situation that's not that deep. And I wouldn't even say it's just Caucasian women. It's I feel like it's any woman outside of the African American race.
That's fair.
I'm gonna just say it like that.
That's fair.
You know, even Spanish women, they could go, oh,
be crying, and
you know what I'm saying? Oh, she's spicy. She's spicy. Oh, I love it. Like, she's passionate. But
oh my gosh.
But as soon as it's one of us, you know what I mean? As soon as it's one of us, it's like, Oh, that's why I don't even mess with Black women no more like that. You know, they don't even. I got to keep me
But that's all part of
a foreign.
that's all part of the systemic racism that we've allowed the world to understand. The world, we have trained the planet to believe that Black women can only be strong, and anything other than that means there's something wrong with us. Where we've all, including Black people, been trained that when white women cry, then everybody needs to suffer. So I say things that are not always sweet, but are true. And so what I'm about to say is true. What's happening in the Ukraine is horrible. War is bad. War is bad every time. When it happens in a brown, Black country, and when it happens in a country full of white people. So we have been systematically trained to believe that their suffering is more intense and greater than our suffering. When we're watching Black folks drown because we won't let them into our country, because we believe that they can work.
We beat them with horses and sticks.
Thank you.
Telling them to stay over there because you're Black, you're brown, and that's where you need to be. But here it is that we will open up the United States and say, hey, come on over here with us. We got you. We're gonna open up our homes for us. But the Black people come along and they need a place to stay and they need our help, the United States be like, oh no.
I'm gonna let this horse.
The border got to stay up, stay over there. To see them sitting up here beating to see them on these doggone memes, the social media, the news, you sitting up here beating these Black people not to come over here, but
it shows looking like it came from something out of a book or a movie or back in the day.
I'm just saying that it was made into a meme. The ultimate disrespect.
Yes.
Why are we making a joke out of this?
Right.
Because I guarantee you, if it was somebody white, we need to find them people who was doing this. They're gonna get the ultimate punishment. We about to beat them to death. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. So I didn't horrible started, but it's just
sorry.
It's just
I
based
didn't
on
mean
facts.
to get all.
No, I take the heat.
It is,
but it was like
it is. I mean, it needs all that. All that energy. All of that energy.
That is just so horrible to me. Like, everybody needs help.
Yeah.
Like Nicole said, war is horrible. All of those things, like the situation all the way around is horrible.
Exactly.
But why is it that when it's brown and it's white, it's a difference? It's a difference. And then for y'all to be public about it, y'all not even covering it up. Y'all public. It's public disrespect.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
They don't care about us, like Michael Jackson said. He said,
sadly enough, though.
Not only do they not care about us, but I cannot think of who it is in office that said that we wasn't Americans. Who was that?
I have to look.
I wish that Eric was right there.
Wait, they said we want Americans.
Yes, Eric has been. He's been fussing about this for the longest. That has been the talk in my house that the blacks is not American. It was like it was in his sentence, and it was like, what? Hold on.
But look though.
Let's go back where it came from.
And I know we gotta wrap it up. And I know we gotta wrap it up.
It was Mitch McConnell who said
it. Yes. Yes.
But let's be clear.
We should attack that.
We about to drop the mic on y'all. We finna drop the mic on y'all with this one.
Yeah.
All of this that we talked about with Black people and how we treat it and how all of this, what we can do to make it better from what we can make it better or how we can make it better. From the statement that you said, for real, ultimately, America was built on our back. It was us that put in that labor.
That's true.
It was us that put in that manual labor, that our bodies was sacrificed
Mhm.
to build this country.
That's true.
So
Run me a check.
at this point, it's really up to us to do what we can, in whatever capacity that is,
Mhm.
to empower each other to go out and reach the goals and everything that we always talk about here at Sister Talk.
Yeah.
To reach new heights, you know what I'm saying? Level up, as I always say. They be like, go to the next level. I be like, level up.
It's in the mission statement.
You know, and to be encouraged.
That's in there too.
And we gonna make it, y'all. The
We
Bible
gonna
says
be all right.
the last shall be first. And baby, we getting there. Y'all keep the faith, y'all stay strong. Y'all, well, do y'all got anything else to say?
You know, the other thing of what I wanted to include in that is we talking about how it's evident of it being black and white, but we got to support each other. We have to support each other because ain't nobody gonna support us, and don't think that they are, because they're not. Okay, it's just not gonna go that way. So we need to support each other. If you are up here, reach back and get that other black girl and bring her with you. Bring her up there as well.
I feel like we doing an altar call right now. Altar call.
Reach out and touch somebody. No,
I'm
I
just
did catch the
saying,
altar call.
when you are blessed, you're not blessed for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, you blessed to be a blessing. So let's
true.
bless each other. You know what I'm saying? Let's quit looking down on each other. Let's bring each other up. Because if we wait on somebody else to do it for us, it's not gonna happen.
Period.
That's a word. Well.
Period.
Well.
I already said my will. Y'all late.
You is the well.
I caught it.
I willed already.
I heard the first one.
I just want
Hey,
to
this
say,
this is not the preacher saying, I'm wrapping it up. I'm wrapping it up, y'all. I'm not saying it 5 times. I'm rounding them in and heading home.
you
That's all
know,
the Lord told me to tell y'all today.
I just want to say, Nicole, we are so grateful that you came on the screen to join us instead of just watching us and, you know, doing all of your magic. Thank you for joining the conversation. Thank you for giving your input, and thank you for encouraging us. Thank you for keeping us focused, because Nicole will reach back and get us.
Here's my skin.
Sister Talkers, I hope that you have been engaged in some sassy conversation. Okay, this has been one of the sassiest, spiciest, man,
Asian.
yeah, conversations that I am so grateful to be doing with my sisters. We hope that we have empowered you to be your authentic self. Whoever God, because that's who we believe in, whoever God has called you to be, please be your authentic self. Don't code switch in those rooms. Be you. Unless it's
God made you for a reason. But
we hope that we have encouraged you to the next level. Please do not forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Like us on all of our social media platforms at Sister Talk with LCB. And if you got any ideas, if you got something to say, send us an email, drop us a line, let us know what's up. How y'all feeling about Ketanji? Like, she shouldn't be going through all this. Drop a line, please. Please, sisters.
How y'all feel? Because I know y'all got some feelings.
I know.
I know y'all got some feelings.
Until
Feel your
next time,
feelings.
y'all. We love y'all. Bye.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not letting anybody in the Senate steal my joy. Because I know you and I, we appreciate something that we get that a lot of my colleagues don't. And I want to tell you, when I look at you, this is why I get emotional. It's hard for me not to look at you and not see my mom, not to see my cousins. I see my ancestors and yours. You have earned this spot. You are worthy. You are a great American. There is a love in this country that is extraordinary. You admitted it about your parents. They loved this nation, even though this country didn't love them back. But you are here because of that kind of love. And nobody's taken this away from me.